There are a lot of crazy chimp stories out there, but this one's bananas. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us here at Traces of Hollywood. Today we're going to talk about a chimpanzee who did what a lot of humans only dream about. He retired to Palm Springs. We're talking about Cheeta, Tarzan's famous primate sidekick, who made his debut in the 1932 film Tarzan the Ape Man, starring former Olympic swimming champion Johnny Weissmuller. Interestingly, the character of Cheeta was never mentioned in the original books, but was a creation of Hollywood writers. The theme of Hollywood fiction is something that will become more important as this story continues today. Cheeta's origin story is that he was smuggled out of Nigeria in 1932 by a wild animal dealer named Henry Treffich, who supposedly smuggled the baby chimp out of Africa under his coat on a flight out. But it was revealed many decades later that this flight didn't actually begin service until several years after this time. This is where Hollywood animal trainer Tony Gentry enters the picture. Gentry said he purchased Cheeta from Treffich and began working with the animal. Gentry actually supplied 3 different chimps who played Cheeta for the various Tarzan films over the years. Our Cheeta was also said to have starred in various other films, including Dr. Dolittle and Bedtime for Bonzo with Ronald Reagan, although it's disputed that that is a different chimp altogether. Apparently, the reason why there were several different chimps playing the role is because it would depend on what the specific scene called for, as each animal had specialty training that might make them better for the action that was needed that day. Some could swing on vines, others were better at interacting with the cast, and some were just better at sitting still for things like close-ups. The Palm Springs cheetah was actually named Jigs 4, named after the original ape Jigs, who starred in the very first Tarzan movie. So here we start to see the story begin to unravel a bit. Stick around, it gets even crazier. After Cheeta's original trainer and caretaker, Tony Gentry, passed away in 1991, he came to live with Gentry's nephew, Dan Westfall. Gentry had originally stipulated in his will that Cheeta would be euthanized upon his death because he was concerned Cheeta would not be cared for properly or end up in a research facility or a roadside zoo. After 2 years of pleading his case, Westfall was able to convince his uncle to allow him to care for Cheeta, and Cheeta then came to live with Westfall at his urban animal sanctuary in the city of Palm Springs, California, the Casa de Cheeta, a place that remains today, and we will see it here shortly. A side note that Cheeta has a grandson, Jeter, who lived in Florida, and another relative named Susie, and all 3 performed together at various times in Palm Springs. There were no fewer than 18 chimpanzees who played Cheeta in the various Tarzan movies and TV shows, as well as an orangutan and 1 human actor in an ape suit. There was yet another cheetah said to come from the estate of Johnny Weissmuller in 1957, but it's speculated that this chimp actually came from a Florida tourist attraction that the actor once founded that included chimps rather than having appeared in any of his films. This chimpanzee's name was actually Org, and he died in Palm Harbor, Florida on December 24, 2011 of kidney failure. Getting back to our Palm Springs cheetah who lived at Dan Westfall's sanctuary, he started painting later in life, and his works were owned by celebrities such as Steven Spielberg and Carol Channing, and renowned primate researcher Jane Goodall even visited Cheeta at his home in 2006. Cheeta has a Guinness Book of World Records entry as having been the oldest living primate on record in 2001. When he received the award, he was claimed to be 69 at the time, and that would have placed him as old as 89 when he died. But Westfall has said that his uncle stretched the truth about Cheeta's age, and that his uncle was typically Hollywood, because Cheetah's age was likely several decades younger than this in reality. In fact, this cheetah might not have ever even been in any Tarzan movies and was instead rescued from a zoo attraction in Santa Monica, California. Westfall once said, "His actual age and the history on him will always be a Hollywood mystery," and unlike his showman uncle Gentry, Westfall has always tried to be very open about Cheetah's tangled backstory. And as promised, we're heading towards the Casa de Cheeta, which is located in the Racket Club Estates neighborhood, and it's at 1033 East Francis Drive in Palm Springs. And as always, I'll put the addresses in the video description so you can find these spots if you want to come visit them on your own. And I know that this location has been a tourist attraction for many years. Of course, there are multiple generations of people who remember Cheetah from the various Tarzan movies. So this cheetah in particular, it's a touchstone for folks who want to come and pay tribute to a beloved animal actor that we all have very fond memories of. I will say, in just a short time, I was visiting on a Thursday at 4 in the afternoon. There were at least 3 other cars that pulled up to view the Casa de Cheeta. Now, Palm Springs in particular is very accustomed to having people take photographs of homes just because of the architectural significance of homes here, and there are plenty of notable homes as well. So the homeowners are generally open to folks taking photos and driving by and having a look, but please, I always like to say this, just be respectful and remember that these are people's homes. So don't trespass on the property, don't go up and knock on doors. If they want to come out and speak with you, that's up to them, but otherwise just try to view these locations, or actually please do view these locations only from the public sidewalks or from the comfort of your own vehicle. A lot of times it's pretty hot out, so you might prefer to stay in your car anyway. But just show respect as you visit these locations, and generally speaking, people are very welcoming of tourists and visitors if you do so. I personally love when these locations that we've seen photos of over the decades remain largely unchanged, and I love that it still says Casa de Cheeta with the little silhouette of the chimpanzee head, as you can see there to the right side. And here we will be visiting Cheetah's star on the Palm Springs Walk of Stars. It's in front of the Ben & Jerry's at 110 South Palm Canyon near the Plaza Theater, another very historic location. And while we're having a look at this, I'll just mention that Cheetah suffered from diabetes and arthritis in old age, and eventually in 2022, Cheetah suffered a stroke, and being unable to move or eat, the painful decision was made by Westfall to medically euthanize Cheetah to end his suffering. I'm sure this was no easy decision because Westfall said at the time he wasn't a pet, he was something special. He was damn near like a person and he loved meeting people. It's a big loss to me. And as you can see, Dan Westfall has his own star right next to Cheetah, which is very touching and appropriate. And Westfall calls Cheetah an ambassador for all the chimps who played the famous role in the Tarzan movies. And like all great Hollywood stars, we often prefer to remember them in their prime. So thanks for the memories, and rest in peace, Cheetah. Thanks again for joining me, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and most importantly, to help the channel grow, hit that little subscribe button. It's the circle on the bottom right of your screen, and if you're new here, check out our other videos. Thanks a lot. Till next time.